Imagine this, you just parked, shut the door, and tossed the keys on the dash. That familiar logo on your steering wheel feels rock solid, right? Now picture scrolling the news tomorrow and seeing that same logo slapped with the headline, "Could be gone by 2027. Depreciation, parts shortages, and dealership deserts served up overnight." Sounds dramatic, but for 7 once-storied brands, it's becoming the most likely plot twist. Stick around, because the last name on this list is burning more cash per car than any automaker in recent memory, and the fallout could land right in your driveway. They called it quiet luxury, but Lincoln's confidence is mostly smoke. Sedans, the old backbone of the brand, are gone, and the £5,000 SUV doing the heavy lifting today, the Nautilus, isn't even built on American soil anymore. Ford shifted production to China, and tariffs hover like a guillotine over every boat ride shipment to US dealers. Sure, sales perked up last year, helped by deep incentives and fleet dumps, but insiders say the engineering bench is razor thin and the EV roadmap keeps missing exit ramps. Dealers? Fewer every quarter. Owners already complain about 90-mile drives for warranty work. That's not presidential limo energy, that's a polite fade out in real time. But if Lincoln's numbers look shiny on the surface, Nissan's ledger bleeds bright red. The company once bragged about the GTR chasing supercars for lunch money. Now it's chasing lenders for breathing room. A reported 700 billion yen loss last fiscal year forced 2 rounds of layoffs, 20,000 jobs globally, and whispers of shuttered assembly lines in Mississippi and Kyushu. The high-stakes merger with Honda that might have formed the world's #1 free automaker collapsed when Honda refused to surrender voting control. Meanwhile, Nissan's US lineup soldiers on with aging platforms and almost no fresh hybrid tech. Internal memos, leaked to the Nikkei, suggest a 12 to 15-month cash runway if another strategic partner doesn't step in. Translation: if you're planning a 5-year loan on a new Altima, understand you might own the car longer than the company owns itself. That still sounds healthy compared with Chrysler, a badge now supported by exactly 1 retail model. Back in 2005, 500,000 Chryslers roamed US streets. Today, the Pacifica minivan, plus a fleet-only Voyager twin, carries the weight of the entire brand. Stellantis, the parent conglomerate, has 14 Marques to feed, and its CEO bluntly told investors he'll free resources by dropping dead weight. Airflow, the airy EV crossover teased in glossy renderings, cannibalized before a single prototype hit the Las Vegas Strip. Dealers in Maine and Georgia defaulted or folded this year, leaving buyers without titles, and several state attorneys general are sniffing around. Even if a refreshed Pacifica and mystery midsize SUV make it to showrooms, analysts peg the break-even volume at triple Chrysler's current sales. Betting on that seems riskier than parallel parking on black ice. Buick once sold American aspiration by the boatload. Today, its heartbeat is 7,000 miles away in Shanghai. More than 80% of Buicks now roll off Chinese assembly lines, serving upper middle-class buyers who treat the Tri-Shield badge like Europeans treat BMW. Handy, until US-China trade tensions crank up tariffs and slice margins to ribbons. Stateside, the new Envista and Encore GX look nice in Instagram ads, but they're built on the same bones you'll find under a Chevy Trax. The promised Wildcat EV concept, still chasing capital. Advertising budgets have shrunk to the point where most Americans under 40 can't name a single current Buick model, and dealer rooftops are consolidating faster than a closing time bar tab. When a brand becomes neither luxury nor value, just there, resale falls through the floor. The collapse doesn't happen all at once, but every trading quote feels like another missing brick. Genesis launched like a hungry underdog. Leather-wrapped, tech-stuffed, undercutting Germany by 10 grand. Then the momentum stalled. Last year's US deliveries hovered around 75,000, respectable yet smaller than Audi's Q5 alone. Enthusiasts still admire the rear-drive G70, but new competition from the BMW 3 Series refresh and Cadillac CT4V Blackwing turned the spotlight elsewhere. Software gremlins sparked a pair of recalls affecting the GV60, GV70, and G80, issues ranging from spontaneous shutdowns to frozen infotainment. None catastrophic, but enough to spook first-time luxury buyers. Worse, true standalone Genesis stores exist in only a dozen metro areas. Everywhere else, you're sipping burnt coffee in a Hyundai service lounge while waiting on a part shipped from Seoul. Hyundai's heavy EV investment is funneling into the Ioniq and Kia sub-brands, leaving Genesis to fend for itself just when luxury customers expect constant novelty. If sales plateau again, corporate patience could wear dangerously thin. Which brings us to Jaguar, the British cat attempting a 9 lives reinvention and maybe using up the 8th. 5 out of 6 models met the guillotine in 2024. XF, XE, E-Pace, F-Type, even the I-Pace. Left behind, the F-Pace SUV, and a Dream. The Dream is an all-new 6-figure electric 4-door GT aimed at the Porsche Taycan crowd. Trouble is, Jaguar has no EV street cred, no scale, and no volume model to pay the bills while that halo car takes shape. At the same time, corporate rebranders ditched the iconic Leaper logo for a generic circular J paired with the slogan, "Live Vivid." Reaction on social media was less vivid and more, "What is this, a perfume ad?" Loyalists mocked it as corporate cosplay, and dealers, already thinning, used the fiasco to negotiate out of franchise contracts. Combine that with long-running reliability jabs, and you've got an automaker plunging into the unknown with both headlights off. Finally, Lucid, the Silicon Valley darling that promised 500-mile luxury and instead delivered a front-row masterclass in burn rate economics. Each Lucid Air sedan is a triumph of aerodynamics and battery chemistry, and allegedly cost the company more to build than it collects in revenue. Last year's net loss topped $2.7 billion. That works out to roughly a $300,000 hole per vehicle produced. CEO Peter Rawlinson, ex-Tesla royalty, stepped aside under succession planning, and an interim chief is courting new investors as the share price languishes 95% below its peak. For now, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund holds a majority stake and keeps the lights on, but sovereign wealth isn't charity. If Riyadh decides returns look better elsewhere, Lucid could evaporate faster than a puddle on a Mojave August afternoon. Early customers already report software bugs, phantom driver assist warnings, and service centers that feel like prototypes themselves. When the warranty claims start stacking up on a company hunting for cash, guess who's left holding the invoice? Spoiler, not the investors. So where does that leave you? The driver who just wanted reliable wheels and maybe a touch of badge prestige. If history repeats, think Saab, Oldsmobile, Pontiac. The pattern is brutal, depreciation accelerates, parts inventories shrink, and specialized mechanics scatter. Insurance premiums rise because claims take longer to settle. Your resale value? Picture an elevator with cut cables. Some owners ride it out, others bail early and eat the loss, but nobody escapes the math. Here's the smart play. Check the runway. Before you sign a 5 or 6 year note, read the parent company's latest earnings call. Short, gloomy calls usually hide longer, gloomier spreadsheets. Study the dealer map. If a brand trims showrooms by 20%, odds are parts warehouses just took a matching haircut. Beware concept car promises. Marketing loves ribbon-draped prototypes. Your warranty coverage, however, lives in the unglamorous world of balance sheets and supplier contracts. Diversify desire. If you love the styling of one of these brands, test drive its mainstream cousin. You might sacrifice a crest on the grille, but you'll gain long-term parts availability and sleep. Now, let's open the comment pit. Did your current car's badge land on this list? Did we miss a sleeper brand you think is circling the drain even faster? Drop your hot takes below. If this rundown saved you from a 5-figure mistake, or at least gave you a juicy story for the next Cars and Coffee meetup, smash that like button, share it with anyone dealership hopping this weekend, and hit subscribe. We've got more insider auto stories queued up, and the next episode explodes a myth about a beloved muscle icon that secretly borrowed half its engine from a farm tractor.